This is Hypixel Skyblock. And this is me, an unemployed teenager who set out to conquer the game in 1 month. But before the challenge starts, I want to introduce you to my goals. Also, this took like 300 hours, so subscribe! Anyways, each goal represents one of the 5 main skills I'll be doing throughout this challenge. These being combat, farming, mining, foraging, and fishing. For combat, my goal is to get 3 Force Necrons armor, meaning that I'll be missing the helmet because the helmet is literally useless. In farming, I want to win a gold medal in a Jacobs contest. In mining, I want to reach Hotham 7. In foraging, I want to reach Chapter 5 in the Moonglade March. And for fishing, I don't really have a goal, but I just did some fishing throughout the challenge. Also, to make this challenge a bit harder, I did this in Iron Man. As I spawned on my island, I activated my inner hyper sweat and didn't even bridge to the portal and instead just went straight to the hub. The hub, which after a revamp looks like this, is the first island you visit on your Skyblock journey. It's divided into 5 different parts. Each of these resembles one of the skills that I did throughout the challenge. I started off as basically everyone by farming wheat and did so until I reached farming level 10. I then claimed a rogue sword from Jamie, which consumes 50 mana to increase your speed by 100 for a few seconds. After the revamp, this can be bought from the weaponsmith. After I got my rogue sword, I made my way to Jerry's workshop, which is a seasonal event only available in Skyblock's December. Here I got myself some gifts that are spread throughout the island. I now made my way up the mountain to Gulliver, who introduces you to chicken racing. Chicken racing works with normal controls, and to get your chicken up you just need to press space. After reaching all the checkpoints, I got various rewards, being a red gift, a gift compass, a frozen chicken talisman, and the Jingle Bells item. This also got me my first Skyblock level. I used the gift compass to locate the remaining gifts. There was also an advent calendar going on, so I got all the rewards from that. I gave the gifts I got to random people in Hub 1. This gave me a few basic skill level ups. I then bought myself a stack of white wool to give to the carpenter, which unlocks the carpentry skill. This is basically just crafting. I now got myself a golden shovel with efficiency 3 to use towards getting mining level 12, which would unlock the dwarven mines. Though I got mining 12 pretty quickly, I still needed to get 15 of any enchanted ore. I first mined some redstone to unlock some accessory bag slots. The accessory bag can be used to store talisman. More importantly though, I mined lapis, which I gave to Reese to unlock the dwarven mines. Upon arriving in the dwarven mines, I bought myself a pickaxe from Labubu. I now made my way to the king, who gave me my first ever commission. Then unlocked the mining speed perk from my Heart of the Mountain tree. I now mined up some mithril to complete my first 2 commissions. For now, I wanted to get myself some mining armor, so I made my way to the Great Ice Wall to kill some ice walkers, which only take damage from pickaxes. And since you can easily one-hit these, they are easy to kill, right? After some struggles, I finally got myself the full armor. I continued doing one more commission to unlock Heart of the Mountain Tier 2, from which I got the Mining Fortune and Precision Mining perks. I also bought myself some talisman from the Adventurer NPC. These level up your magical power. More magical power basically just equals better stats. After enchanting some of my armor, I killed even more Glaciate Walkers to unlock combat level 12, which gave me access to the end. I also completed some more commissions until I got commission milestone 1. I then upgraded my pickaxe and forged up a bejeweled handle to work towards the next upgrade. Using an island known as the Portal Hub, I made my way to the end now. Before proceeding to kill Enderman though, I upgraded my rogue sword a bit. After applying these much needed enchants, my quest was to kill 5 Endermen. After killing the 5 Endermen, I talked to the lone adventurer who sold me his Void Sword for 200k coins. The Void Sword is about 1,000,000,000 times better than the Rogue Sword, so I upgraded it as well. Now doing good damage to Enderman, I got myself Ender Armor, which doubles its stats while in the end. I took some coins out of my bank to reforge it to Fierce, which is basically the best combat enchantment you can get from the blacksmith. Before ending day 1, I enchanted the armor. Starting off day 2, I did some commissions and won in a raffle event. Using the mithril powder I got, I upgraded my mining speed perk and mining fortune perk. Since I was already having storage issues, I killed some cows on the barn to craft myself cow minions. Minions are just basically slaves which work 24/7. To start out on foraging, I made myself a golden axe with efficiency 5 and made my way to the lumberjack to complete his quest. Since the next foraging island already requires 1.21.5 and I'm way too lazy to do that, I stayed on this island to make myself some small storages for my minions. While expanding my minion setup, I stumbled upon Sen, who led me to the garden. The garden is the place where you do all your farming stuff. Using the desk, you can unlock plots and upgrades. You can paste crops onto the plots to farm them. After giving some wheat to Sam, I unlocked the composter. You can put organic matter, so plants, and fuel into the composter to make compost. Using compost, you can unlock the plots. After unlocking a plot, you still need to clean it up. One last important thing about the garden are visitors. Visitors come to your garden demanding different crops. Upon giving them, they will give you different rewards. My focus for now though is not on farming, so after getting some more cow minions, I unlocked bestiaries, which are a collection of all the mobs you killed and the Grammar Wolf pet. Pets work as you would expect, but you don't need to equip the Grammar Wolf to use its abilities. I made my way back to the end to kill a bunch of Endermen. I stored the Ender pearls away to work towards an aspect of the end which can be used to teleport. After making one more minion, I made myself an experimentation table, which is the only good way to level up enchanting. After killing some more Endermen, as well as Watchers and Obsidian Defenders, I got myself the full Ender set. I could now talk to the Pearl Dealer to get a free Dragon Shortbow. A shortbow is a bow that shoots instantly. I reforged the Ender equipment. Equipment is basically a second, weaker armor. Now my goal is to reach Combat 18 to complete another quest in the end. Since I now had Skyblock level 12, I talked to the wizard in the wizard tower to unlock the rift. To get into the rift, you need an infusion from the wizard. The rift is almost a transformed hub island. It's home to many similar things. For example, Enigma souls instead of fairy souls. The best way to start out is to follow these breadcrumbs given to you by the wizard, which will then unlock the rift guide in your Skyblock menu. Using this guide, I found the first 2 Enigma souls. Since you start off with not a lot of time, I was only able to kill some shy around the area to get myself a sword before my rift time ran out. Since the wizard stacks up to 3 infusions at once, I was able to get 2 more Enigma souls as well as Montezuma, the main rift pet, in my second rift time. I also bought about a billion tips to get myself a stability elixir, which I gave to Sirius to unlock the rift transfer chest. Using this chest you can transfer rift transferable items to the real world. On my last rift time I got myself 3 pieces of rift armor as well as the crux talisman. I now did a bunch of commissions, getting me commission milestone 2 as well as Heart of the Mountain 3. The commission milestone gave me mining 21, and from the Heart of the Mountain 3 I unlocked 2 more perks. After I participated in a Mithril Garment event. Since the season of Jerry was around, I decided to participate in the volcanic eruption event before ending of the day. Starting off day 3, I participated in a raffle event, got a mining level up and did my daily commissions. I now bought some blaze powder from the alchemist to craft my enchanted ender pearls into enchanted eyes of ender, which I would use to craft the aspect of the end once I unlock the collection. I made my way down the basement of this bar to meet Maddox the Slayer. He introduces you to Slayers, which are stronger versions of mobs that have abilities. They also come in different tiers. For my first Slayer, I one-tapped the Zombie Slayer, which got me a Zombie Slayer level 1. I also started at tier 2, but oh my... Anyways, I proceeded to kill the tier 2 as well as the Spider level 1. Back to mining though, I put Flow State 3 and Fortune 3 onto my pickaxe and upgraded it to a normal mithril pickaxe. Using my first rift time of the day, I got myself an Enigma soul, the last piece to full rift armor, and this eye which can be used to teleport around the rift. To work towards my first ever drill, which is just a fancy pickaxe, I mined some coal to make myself a fuel canister. For the drill motor, I would need a gold plate, which requires glassite jewels as well as a refined diamond, so I got those as well. I used my second rift time to get another Enigma soul and progressed through this NPC's quest, which I'm not gonna explain because it takes too long and is annoying as But as my rift time expired, I went back to the end to kill Enderman and mine Ender nodes, until I finally got the collection for the aspect of the end. After getting an enchanted diamond, I was finally able to craft it. Using this to teleport, I would finally be able to properly play dungeons. Through dungeons I would not only be able to obtain Necron armor, but some of the best gear in the game overall. In dungeons, players need to kill mobs in rooms to unlock wither doors until they reach the blood door. Before defeating all the mobs in the blood room and going to the boss, players typically complete all rooms and find most secrets spread throughout the dungeon to ensure they get good loot after completing the boss. I will explain each floor's boss fight once I get to the floor. The first dungeon you do is Entrance, which doesn't have a boss and only leads you to the blood room. The first real floor is floor 1. This boss fight consists of Bonzo, who is a clown that summons undead. If you kill him the first time, he will revive, fully replenishing his health. After killing him again, the reward chests will spawn. Before I went on to do floor 2, I've revisited the rift for one final time today and got myself 2 Enigma souls and killed some deadshogs to upgrade my helmet. I also caught some Odonatas to complete the Bug Hunter's quest. This got me a Silk Rider safety belt and I also bought a Harmonious Surgery toolkit. As my rift time ran out, I went back to doing dungeons, these being floor 2, 3 and 4. I'll explain each of the boss fights. In floor 2 you need to defeat Scarf, but before you can damage him you need to defeat his 4 undeads, each resembling one of 4 classes in dungeons. After killing all of the undeads, his border will drop and you will be able to damage him. After killing him, you will have completed the dungeon. The boss of floor 3 is the Professor, Scarf's teacher. He works similar to him because you have to defeat 4 guardians and his border will drop. But When you kill him after his border drops, he will merge all the guardians into himself to become one himself. Now, after killing him, you will have completed the dungeon. The boss of floor 4, Thorn, is extremely annoying. He spawns a bunch of animals which deal mild damage. After some time he will spawn a spirit bear in the middle. After killing the bear he will drop a bow. You need to shoot Thorn 4 times with the bow, and each time you hit him he will become faster. Not only is this annoying to hit, but every once in a while he will spawn chickens from the sky who deal a lot of true damage which ignores your defense. Obviously, this deals a lot of damage. Before ending of day 3, I ran a bit more of floor 3 because floor 4 was a bit too hard. Starting day 4, I claimed my forge and forged up a golden plate. I also did my daily commissions. After participating in a raffle event, I prestiged my chocolate factory and ran some floor 4 and 3. Since your kata level increases your stats inside of dungeons, I got good enough stats to play floor 5 after a while. The boss is pretty straightforward. Livid, an assassin, has gathered orbs of thorn. He turns these into his clones. But, in the sky, a color will be revealed. The color revealed will be the livid that you need to kill. This is one of my favorite flaws, so I played it a lot during the challenge. For example, now I played a lot of runs, and after some time I dropped this. This is the Livid Dagger. It's one of Skyblock's best early game weapons, due to its high damage and bonus attack speed. It also deals 100% extra damage when hitting an enemy from behind. After I put some upgrades onto it, I went to the Rift. Here I went into this water to spawn lagoon leeches. After they go out of the water, you can kill them. Killing them will give you some lily pads which you can use to go over to this house. There's a pirate stranded here that requires your help to repair the boat. Through your journey in the rift, you will need to give him various items. After killing the eye in his house, I went back to the main island to Dr. Hibble, who told me to go back to the boat and talk to Kay, who gave me a very scientific paper. After giving this to the doctor, I got sent down to the Leech Supreme, who is the mini-boss in the rift. After dealing 200 damage to him, he will have different phases. In the first one, he will have this weird slime thingy that pounds into the ground. In the second one, he will send bombs after you. In the third, he will spawn mobs. And in the last one, he will spawn a laser. On my second rift time, I got a Montezuma fragment hidden in this waterfall. After finally completing my first Leech Supreme, I was rewarded with some motes and most importantly 8 Leech fragments. I used these to upgrade my Silk Rider selfie belt, and before my rift time ran out I got some Deadhawks. On my last rift time of today, I killed another Leech Supreme and some normal leeches. I now decided to mine some redstone to start working towards my drill. I also mined some iron and killed treasure hoarders for treasurite. Using these materials, I could now forge a drill motor. Before ending the day, I ran some dungeons from which I dropped Shadow Assassin boots, which I bought and reforged. Starting day 5, I used all my rift times. During these, I bought an Enigma soul and killed some shies to upgrade my sword. On my second rift time, I caught some Odanatas. Using these, I crafted my first time charm. After talking to Elise, you can put time charms into the Rift Gallery. Doing so will unlock new areas and give you a bunch of Skyblock XP. Your first time charm also gives you the Rift Necklace, which is useful in and outside of the Rift. Inside of the gallery, I also got a Montezuma fragment. Before using my final rift time, I got an Enigma soul and killed some leeches to craft the aspect of the leech, which can be used to teleport a few blocks. After giving the first set of materials to read, my time ran out and I got the rift necklace outside of the rift. On my third and final rift time of the day, I got myself some Enigma souls and went into the Mirrorverse, which is full of quests related to a mirror, but I'm not gonna explain those because they are not that important and I don't want to. Throughout the Mirrorverse though, I got 3 talismans for outside the rift. Completing the mirrorverse rewards you with a lot of modes. Before ending my final rift time, I killed some shadows to get the mirrorverse time charm and got an Enigma soul as well. After running floor 5 about 10 times outside the rift, I tried doing my first floor 6. The hardest thing about floor 6 is the high DPS of basically everything, but with a golden chat like this one, it's pretty easy. Also, I finally got my audio working. Since your ears are already so blessed, I will bless you with even more explaining. In the floor 6 boss fight, you first have to fight 2 waves of these terracotta thingies. Then 4 giants will drop down. After defeating those, the boss, Sardan, will pull out his final corpse. After defeating that, the boss is done. For the rest of the day, I ran some floor 5 and did mining, doing my commissions, through which I reached out of the mountain tier 4, which I used to unlock the mining spread. This increases the amount of blocks you mine per 1 block mined. Since a mining fiesta started, which doubles the amount of ores you drop, I went to mine some coal to forge up a fuel canister and make myself a mining sack. I also mined cobblestone and redstone to make myself one of the most important accessories in the game, being the personal compactor. This automatically crafts any items you put into it into their enchanted variants. Starting day 6, I claimed my forge from yesterday and participated in 2 goblin raids, after which I did a bunch of commissions. After putting a refined mithril into the forge, I did my experimentation table for an enchanting level up. I played some floor 5, but I lost the footage of dropping this Shadow Assassin helmet. Shortly after dropping it, I also dropped Shadow Assassin leggings. After upgrading it a bit, I dropped the recomp, but I'm broke, so I didn't buy it and went to the rift. On my first rift time, I found a Montezuma fragment and an Enigma soul. I also started out on a quest to guard Sorcerer Okron's house with different spells. I got all spells on the first rift time, but got an Enigma soul and completed the quest on the second rift time of today. Completing the quest gave me a Warden trinket. After this, I killed some shadows to upgrade my chest plate. After doing so, I completed this rift race twice, giving me a dark pebble and a Gunthasizer Lichen, which I used to upgrade my boots. After, I killed even more shadows to upgrade my Crux Talisman to a Crux Ring and started out on the Unhinged Clune quest. But my rift time ran out before I could do anything. I spent most of the rest of the day mining, doing commissions, foraging or participating in events. I only took a break after commission milestone 3. In this break I ran dungeons and dropped a Shadow Assassin chestplate, but I didn't buy it yet. I also used my final rift time of today and found somebody to do 2 Enigma souls with, so shout out to him I guess. For the mini-clone quest I would have to hack terminals and assign the right colors to them. I didn't quite manage to do it on this rift time though. Before ending the day, I did more commissions and forged up enough refined mithril to forge my mithril drill tomorrow. Waking up today, I claimed the forge and forged the drill. Using this, I did my daily commissions. Today, I spent most time doing the rift. Here, I completed the Unhinged Clune quest and started out on the Infested House quest. Here, I need to help Cat clean up an infested house, using a vacuum that sucks in insects. After putting them in the vermin bin, you can unlock different items for sale. This shop has 3 items that are good. The first 2 are upgrades to my equipment, these being the Disinfestor gloves and the vermin belt. The last good item is a key to the Enigma soul of the house. Since I had already gotten the Mirrorverse time charm, I unlocked the next area. Here I killed vaults until I could upgrade my crux thingy. The main quest in this area is farming for Shania. Here you need to use Wonder Farming to farm 3 different crops. This one is called Caduceus, you need to farm it upside down. These mushrooms are called agaceous. You need to look at them for a few seconds before they turn red and you can farm them. These dead bushes are called berberis. You need to always farm the one with the particles. First off, I got myself a stack of berberis to give to Reed for some materials for his ship. After getting even more berberis, I crafted a berberis blowgun which I used to shoot down balloons and dropped this anvil onto a chest, revealing an enigma stone. I also used this to shoot different buttons around houses to get another enigma soul. After following some flower pots I got another enigma soul. Now I harvested the materials for Shanya, giving me a proto egg. Using this along with some other stuff that can be gathered around the farm, you can craft the chicken and egg time charm. After crafting this, I put it into the Rift Gallery to unlock the next area and get a Skyblock level up. This new area, called the Village Plaza, is supposed to resemble the hub. Here, you can kill these scribes by looking at these blocks they spawn when you hit them often enough. Next up I talked to Cowboy Nick, who gave me a horse Suka which shoots horses when there's hay nearby. Using this I got a Montezuma fragment, and before moving on to continue the quest I crafted myself chicken leggings. Before my time for today ran out, I followed a fleece book to get an enigma soul and got another Montezuma fragment. Since I had now gathered a good amount of time charms, I replaced my ender necklace with a rift necklace and ran some dungeons. I didn't do dungeons for very long though, and instead did mining, doing a bunch of commissions until I reached Heart of the Mountain 5. Through this I got 3 more perks in my Heart of the Mountain tree. I also applied some upgrades to my drill. Before ending the day, I took part in this Cult of the Fallen Star meeting for a Cult of the Fallen Star helmet. Starting day 8, I did 2 commissions and participated in a mithril garment. After doing so, I went to the Rift. Here I used the bazooka from Cowboy Nick to go into this cave and find an enigma soul. I now took his rabbit with me to go farm some carrots, but they only turned out to be half eaten because he nipped at them. So now, instead of getting 7, I had to get like a billion. Before completing the slavery work for him, I got the eye in the area and went through the island portal to get this enigma soul. Anyways, after getting the enigma soul, I bought these boots for like a billion motes. After killing some shies, I completed the cowboy slavery work, which gave me a rift storage page. I wasn't all done with the rabbits though, because you need to get this rabbit under this head to get this enigma soul. And this footage is only a short part, it took like 10 minutes. After getting the soul, I bought a travel scroll to the rift from this dude and explored my thoughts for a Montezuma fragment. After killing a lost scribe to upgrade my crux thing, I would have to help Barry, the most useful and most voted mayor in Skyblock, to get rid of some protesters. For this, I had to help the protesters with the things they had to deal with, the most annoying one being some random tag system that took me ages to explain. Completing all the requests gave me this pen, which I could use along with some scribe cruxes to get the Skyblock Citizen time charm. After getting the time charm, placing it in the Rift Gallery and getting a Skyblock level up, I ended my Rift time. Out of the Rift I did some commissions and forged up some refined ores. I also got a big milestone on Skyblock level. After that short mining session, I did my experimentation table, giving me 2 enchanting level ups. Anyways, I crafted myself a gold axe and realized I already had one crafted. Since I upgraded my version to 1.21, I could finally go to the park. Here I went through a series of quests that required me to chop logs of different kinds to obtain foraging armor as well as this talisman from a campfire. Since I didn't do this part of the quest completely right, I had to wait a lot and did farming in the meantime. Here I only got a bunch of basic collections. After buying an upgrade in the community shop, I went back to the dungeon chest guide to claim my Shadow Assassin chestplate, which I upgraded, obviously. There were still a few minutes of a mining fiesta around, so I mined some gold, claimed my forge, and mined diamonds to continue towards upgrading my drill. Since the mining fiesta was over quickly, I went to Galatea, which is the biggest foraging island yet. It took years to develop, but it's the first step towards making Skyblock 1.21 only. Now I would explain it, but there's a lot of things to do, so I'll just do it quickly and simple. Most importantly for foraging here is sweep. It increases the amount of logs you break when mining a tree. Depending on the tree's toughness, it's more or less blocks. Around here there's only two trees, being fig and mangrove trees. Depending if you cut them from up or down to up, they will be easier to cut. On Galatea you're also introduced to an entirely new skill, hunting. You can hunt most mobs in the game using various methods. When hunting a mob, it will drop its shard, which can be siphoned or fused with another shard to unlock new shards and various attributes. There's three main ways to hunt manually, and two passive ones. For the passive ones, you can place down hunt traps in some areas to automatically catch shards over a period of time. The second one are berries. Berries can be consumed. Depending on the level, they have a higher chance to give you the shard of any mob you kill. For the manual ones, we first off have lassos. These can be used on a lot of forest creatures to reel them in after a period of time. Next up, we have fishing nets. These can be used on all animals within the Galatea swamp. Different animals have different ways of getting reeled in, but you always just need to throw your fishing net at them for a while. Last off, we have hunt axes and black holes. Using a hunt axe, you can damage a mob to under 10% HP, and using the black hole, you will then be able to suck it in and obtain its shards. All the mentioned hunting tools have ways to be upgraded. Two more things worth mentioning are Agatha contests and the Moonglade March. The Moonglade March is full of quests. After completing a set amount of quests, you will complete the chapter. Agatha contests are basically always active. During Agatha contests, you can gain points by doing various foraging activities, and the more points you have, the better your rewards will be. There's also the Heart of the Forestry, which works exactly the same as the Heart of the Mountain. After learning all that stuff, I finally managed to get the last piece of foraging armor. Through completing this quest, I'd completed chapter 1 of the Moonglade March, and after foraging a bit, I got my first Agatha contest completion. After doing a bit more foraging, I got Fig Milestone 1 and completed the chapter quest. Since I was having storage issues, I needed to get my minions super compactor so I could actually craft backpacks. For these, I would need to mine redstone and cobblestone. Giving them to the minions will automatically craft any items in their inventory to their enchanted variants. I went to the rift one final time today, giving some materials to read, becoming the investigator of my own murder, and sitting with this girl to unlock an Enigma soul. After breaking some glass for another Enigma soul, I transferred some of my Rift talismans to the actual Skyblock world. After putting these into my accessory bag, I went to the Rift one more time, scamming myself for an Enigma soul, and getting myself an gaseous cap to start out on detransfigured Seraphine's face. She needs help from the alchemist who you need to gather materials for. After not quite finishing the quest, I did a bunch of commissions. Before ending the day, I made it my goal to complete chapter 2 of the Moonglade March. For this, I caught some fish with my fishing net and used my black hole. After completing the chapter, I did 2 more quests of the next chapter by catching a mossy bit and getting some berries. Before ending the day, I went into the soul campfire for a talisman. Starting out day 9, I claimed my forge and did my daily commissions. Next up, I did a bunch of foraging stuff, mainly upgrading my axe, realizing the tree capitator exists, and upgrading my axe again. This made my sweep go up by a lot. Before a mining fiesta started, I wanted to kill some chickens to get a chicken minion and start generating eggs to craft pets. For the fiesta, I crafted myself a few pieces of mineral armor with the refined mineral I already had. For the fiesta, I mainly mined diamonds, gold and redstone to keep working towards upgrading my drill. The last thing I'm gonna cover today is the breaks I took between the fiesta to do some rift. In the new area I unlocked, the living cave, I would need to kill these guys to craft myself various items. I also need to mine this living metal. Using the living metal, I crafted myself living metal boot spawns, which I can kill to juice up my boots. Juicing up all my armor would allow me to go to the next area, the frozen cave, which is inside the living cave. Before moving on to do anything though, I got the 2 enigma souls of the area. After fully juicing up my boots, I bought myself some plumber's buckets from the second best NPC in the game. Using these buckets, I could grow this beanstalk to lead me to an enigma soul. After farming some caduceus, I could craft caduceus extract to complete Seraphine's quest. After using my common sense to buy her face, I went back to the living cave to mine metal and juice up my armor. Before fully juicing up my chestplate, I farmed some carrots to upgrade it. After fully juicing up my chestplate, I could now go to the frozen cave. It's similar to the living cave, but you can get some extra resources here. Before ending the day, I got this frozen water punji, which I could use to stun these snakes. After fully mining them, I can get a living metal hut, which can be used to craft some stuff. On day 10, I did my experimentation table and got enchanting 24. I then made my way to the rift, where I killed Froziles to get their cruxes, and also mined some living metal. I then crafted the crux heirloom and found somebody to do snakes with. I used the hearts I got to upgrade my boots, and then mined another batch of living metal to make myself the living metal anchor as well as the living time charm. I gave the living metal anchor to Reed and deposited the time charm in the rift gallery. The next area I'd be visiting was the Colosseum, where some remains of Dante called Bacte were found. On my second rift time, I made my way to the Colosseum to kill the Eye and did a jump and run to get an Enigma soul. Now for Bacte. Bacte is a gigantic slime found in the Colosseum. You need to shoot the slimes around him inside of him to make him root tentacles into the ground, which you can then destroy to spawn blob assists. Killing all the blob assists will make him vulnerable, and striking him while he's vulnerable will unlock his next phase. On his first phase, he will spawn spikes, which are pretty easy to dodge. During his second phase, he will do this, where he splits the arena in half. If you are not in the correct health, you will lose some rift time. On his third phase, he will spawn a slime copter, which becomes faster and faster. He will cast the other abilities as well. During his fourth and final phase, which is the easiest, He will give you a blaster, which you just need to destroy all the tentacles rooted into him. Then killing him will reward you with 6,000 motes and 8 Bacteria fragments. I used the first fragments I got to give them to Reed. Since I didn't have any more rift time, I made my way to Galatea and siphoned some shards. I then just did some normal foraging and got foraging 20, as well as a fig milestone. Chopping even more trees, I got another foraging level up, as well as a hunting level up. After a tiny bit more foraging, I had chopped enough trees to complete chapter 3. I also got some Agatha contests I'd missed, even giving me a Skyblock level up. I also got Heart of the Forest 3, which I used to unlock 3 more perks from there. I had already completed the first quest of chapter 4, but then I had to tune this annoying ass beacon, which took forever. Finally completing it, I did another quest and found the Forest Essence shop, from which I also bought a few perks. I then made my way back into the rift to kill Bacte and then killed some shies to craft the Globulit Time Charm. After I put this into the rift gallery, I got a Skyblock level up and had enough time to do one more round of Bacte. This time I wanted to use the fragments to upgrade my leggings, and I killed some shadows as well as bolts, but I didn't quite have the time to do it. Getting out of the rift, I upgraded my Grammar Wolf to Legendary and then killed the rest of the chickens I needed to make myself a chicken minion that could automatically generate eggs. This is useful in case I want to make pets in the future. Now that I was done with that stuff, I claimed my forge and forged some more refined diamonds. I then crafted a mithril golem which I gave to Cat to upgrade. While waiting for it to upgrade, I did my daily commissions. Warping to the rift one final time, I upgraded my leggings and did one last run of Bacte. For the rest of the day, I just did some floor 5, ending the day off at about 2 runs away from Kata 24. Yeah. On day 11, I went to Cat to claim my Mithril Golem and upgraded it to rare. I then went to the rift and did this jump and run, which I would need to unlock the next area. Here I got a Montezuma fragment, but since I still had to get a boat, I needed to go back to Reed to buy it from him. I could now launch to the Stilgar Chateau. The Stilgar Chateau is an area full of vampires, which deal actual hearts of damage. To heal, you will have to use a healing melon, which you can craft like this. The melons in this recipe are obtained from killing vampires. First off, I got some Enigma souls. After this last Enigma soul, I crafted a healing melon and went out of the rift to upgrade my Mithril Golem. I then started a Tarantula tier 2 and did the boss, which gave me a Slayer level up. For further bosses I also did Wolf Slayer tier 1, 2 and 3, which gave me a total of 2 Skyblock level ups. I then checked on my chocolate factory, which was ready to prestige, so I did that. I also did another quick Sven tier 1 to level up my Slayer one more time. Then I upgraded my Mithril Golem to Legendary and claimed my forge, as well as doing my daily commissions. I then crafted another Maddox bat phone to put into the rift, so I wouldn't need to walk back to Maddox all the time. My Mithril Golem upgraded to Legendary, so I claimed it, giving me a Skyblock level up. I went back to the rift to get some Caduceus stems because I thought crafting a Caduceus feeder could give my pet free XP. Anyways, I got my bat phone and killed some shies to get up my Crux milestone. I did a quick session of doing glacier walkers and some commissions. Back to the rift though, I killed some splatters. Also, you might have asked yourself why Maddox is even here. I haven't done a Slayer yet. Well, in the rift, there's Vampire Slayer. The Slayer can be spawned like usual by just killing vampires. The Slayer always drains your health constantly. Its most important ability is Maniac. During this, you need to always stay in the green area, or you will get punished for hearts. After doing my first boss, I did another one, getting the first Slayer level up. I had also now gathered enough Crux to upgrade my accessory to the second last stage. I got my last missing Enigma soul of the area and did one final boss before my rift time ran out. I now wanted to start to do some fishing, and I needed to catch an engine to unlock the Backwater Bayou. The Backwater Bayou is the first main fishing island you visit, and since I'm obviously the best player in the world, I caught this engine first try. I now had to give it to Captain Baha to unlock his ship and travel to the Backwater Bayou. Here I spoke to Junker Joel, who gave me a junk sinker. Sinkers are one of 3 modifications you can apply to fishing rods. This one replaces all treasures I catch with junk. Junk can be spent in Junker Joel's shop to unlock better rods or different items. The first thing I'd be working towards was the challenging rod, which required 16 rusty coins. After I got fishing 10, I wanted to get some enchantments on my rod. After fishing 13, I took a break to craft some minions to unlock another minion slot, which I'd be using towards a fishing minion. For all my minions, I also mined some cobblestone as well as redstone to get them super compactors. I also chopped a few logs to get the chicken minion as storage. I now went to the rift to do some vampire slayer trying at tier 2, but miserably failing. Since I was so good at the game, I did a few more tier 1s to upgrade my healing melon. I also mined some ice to get a holy ice, which can be used to reduce my damage taken by 80% for 1.5 seconds. The tier 2 boss mainly introduces 2 new abilities. One of them is Twin Claws, where he throws 2 claws at you which deal a certain amount of damage, depending on the tier. The second ability is called Stone Wrath, where he spawns these weird zombie looking things, which take a heart each from you. When you defeat them, he will fly up in the air. He will come down again. If he lands on the heads, he will destroy them, but if he doesn't, he will resurrect and take the hearts from you again. After I did the boss, my rift time ran out, so I ended off the day by doing some dungeons. I started off the next day by going to the rift to do some vampire slayer, upgrading my helmet and successfully doing a tier 3. I'll stop introducing abilities now, it's a bit annoying and you can learn it yourself. I now got Vampire Slayer tier 3, which I could use to craft blood badges, which I need to craft the time charm, which is my main goal for Vampire Slayer. Claiming the level also gave me a Skyblock level up. I now went to get some Berberis to work towards the time charm and craft the Stake, which can be used to squish any vampire below 20% HP. In between the rift times, I also claimed my minions and did the experimentation table. This also got me enchanting 25, which unlocks the Ultra Sequencer, where you need to memorize numbers for more clicks in super pairs. Back in the rift, I died a billion times.
Wie? Bro. Bro, es laggt doch nicht. Bro, was? Es ist...
After the rift, I went to the Backwater Bayou to get the rest of my coins. Using these, I bought the challenging rod and applied the trashy reforge to it. I also bought some bait to increase my fishing speed. I got fishing 15 and even got my first busted belt buckle. Ending of my day, I did my daily wishes and claimed the chapter reward. The next day I got my wishes as well and then went to the rift. Here I just did a few bosses.
Yeah.
After the rift I did dungeons and dropped a recomp, but I didn't buy it because I was broke. I also wanted to get my magical power up to do more damage, so I crafted a farming talisman, got some nether warts for a potion affinity talisman, and crafted a vaccine talisman. There was also a fishing festival going on, which is an event exclusive to Mayor Marina, where you can spawn sharks by fishing. Sharks can drop a variety of items which can be used to craft fishing gear. After the fishing festival, I went off. The next day, I went to the rift to do Vampire Slayer. After a few slayers, I did some Bhakti as well as Leech Supreme to work towards blood badges, which I would need to craft the time charm. Another ingredient in blood badges requires every crux in the game, so I got a few of those. I also got 3 Berber sponges, which I would need for the time charm as well. After the rift, I claimed my fishing minion and did some dungeons. Because I was already carrying floor 6, I decided to try some floor 7, which was very easy and I didn't die a singular time. Anyways, I'll explain the boss fight now. The boss fight consists of 4 phases, where you fight 4 different withers. In the first one you fight Maxor. Here you need to gather energy crystals, usually with a Bonzo staff, and then this laser will activate, which will stun Maxor. You can now damage him. Upon killing him, you will be met with Storm. Here you need to go on these weird pads to crush down the pillars. If Storm is under the pillar, he will be stunned. While he's stunned, you can damage him. After doing this 2 times, you are met with Goldor. During Golda, the players need to complete 1 device and a certain amount of terminals in each of the 4 rooms. Upon completing all devices and terminals in the last room, you will be met with Golda, and after killing him, you will go to the last Wither, being Necron. This one is supposed to be the strongest one, but he's actually the weakest because he has nothing special about him. You can just damage him the entire time, and that's an easy win. But for now I do not plan on doing more F7, so I instead farmed carrots to serve some visitors on the garden. This gave me a Skyblock level up. For now my goal is to get a replenish enchantments to farm crops like wheat efficiently. For this I need cocoa beans. 409,600 to be exact. Since there's absolutely no way I'm doing that by hand, I crafted myself some minions. To get more minion slots, I also upgraded my cow minions and crafted a bunch of unique new ones. After placing the minions down, I went to participate in a potato contest. I ended up getting bronze. Before ending the day, I still wanted to get my minions super compacted, so I did that. I forgot to record the start of day 15, but I just did some mining and did my daily commissions, after which I crafted a Mithra minion. For more minions I also mined cobblestone, obsidian, glowstone, gravel, sand, gold, redstone, iron, coal, lapis and emerald to craft their respective minions. After I put the minions I crafted into a chest, I went to get cocoa beans, which I used to craft 3 more minions, giving each of them a storage and a super compactor. I then wanted to get my skyblock level up, so I bought a common and rare bee pet. Then got a wolf puff from Gulliver, which I put into my accessory bag, and progressed through Juliet's and Romero's quest to get a yellow rock of love. I then claimed the Coins Allowance 1 upgrade from the community shop and started a minion slots upgrade. Then found myself a dungeon party to run some floor 5. After doing a few runs, I went to farm some birch to get myself a large foraging sack as well as a large enchanted foraging sack. Now that it was easier to store logs, I went to do some foraging and bought some armor from Nemo, which I could use to dive in the water. Then I claimed some Agatha contests and bought a few upgrades from her shop, as well as a frog pet along with a small frog treat which I used at cat to upgrade the pet to uncommon. Back to foraging, I applied a sweet booster to my tree capitator and hit Fig milestone 3 as well as foraging 25 not too long after. I then also got some mangrove to get vine sap which I could use to upgrade my lasso. I got another foraging level up and got enough fig to upgrade my axe to the best one in the game and applied some upgrades to it. I also bought some crow shots from Agatha's shop to use them towards getting more sweet. I used the armor I bought from Nemo to swim in the pool and get caught shots as well as some sea loomies doing 2 more chapter quests. Since I had a lot of leftover money, I bought a recomp that I had dropped and found a party to do some F7, but since I kept dying, I ran floor 1 to get the Bonzo's mask. The Bonzo's mask has an ability which saves you from death and regens you to full health. It goes on a cooldown after. I got the mask pretty quickly, but I ran some more floor 1 to get the Bonzo's staff as well, which I could use to get the crystals in the max or boss fight. I also switched my class to Berserker to deal more damage and it doesn't take too much survivability away from you. Since the stuff was guaranteed through my RNG meter, I got it instantly and reforged it to Heroic. I then claimed my frog pet since it was done and ran some floor 5 when this happened.
Have Shadow Fury.
This is very good because the Shadow Fury is one of the best not too expensive swords in the game. But since it's hella expensive, I need to make some money. The first method I'll be trying is Ender Nodes. These are special blocks you can mine in the end and they can drop different items. I'll be testing this method for 15 minutes. After that time, I sold all the stuff, giving me about 600k coins, meaning this only makes 2.4 million coins an hour. The next day, I crafted myself a backpack from the stuff I got from my cow minions. I enabled the ferry soul helper in my skyblocker and searched for all the ferry souls around the hub. Giving these to Tia the ferry gives me some skyblock XP as well as backpack slots. I crafted myself a cow minion which I would use for the next money making method, Arachne. Arachne is a big boss spider that you can spawn in the spider's den. Killing her will reward you with some stuff, most importantly soul string. Each soul string can be sold for 5,000 to the NPC. After some grinding I figured the soul string makes about 10 million an hour, which is very good for Iron Man. Since I found a lot of good lobbies, I was able to get a lot of soul string very quickly. Arachne also gave me a few bestiary milestones giving me a lot of combat XP, as well as luxurious spools which I could give to Maxwell to unlock the Silky power, which I still haven't stopped using. Selling all the soul string gave me about 7 million coins, which is good, but I still need way more, so I did more Arachne, until I was finally able to buy the Shadow Fury. I did my experimentation table in hopes of getting a good enchanted book, but although I didn't, I put all the other enchantments onto the Shadow Fury. Since I didn't need it anymore, I put the Livid Dagger into the museum, then reforged my Shadow Fury to Legendary and ran some dungeons. I ended the day off at Kata 27. Day 17 I did my experimentation table, giving me a Titanic experience bottle and a Skyblock level up. I then got some potatoes during a contest in which I got bronze, and also got 2 enchanted baked potatoes, which I crafted into hot potato books, which, when applied to your armor or weapons, give them extra stats. I ran some floor 5 and floor 6, which I would use to get my catacombs level up. While doing this, I completed 100 F5 runs, which gave me a golden livid head. I applied some upgrades on it, but I wouldn't be using it for now. I went to the Dragon's Nest to spend some Dragon's Essence I got while doing dungeons on the Dragon's Essence shop and upgraded my Shadow Fury using livid fragments I got while doing dungeons. I also applied a recombobulator to it. For the last things I'd be doing today, I did some foraging, giving me a Skyblock level up. I then bought a shard from Kiara's shop, which gave me a chapter quest. For complete the other chapter quests, I got salmon with my fishing net and fished up a wet wing. This completed the entire chapter. I had already gotten a bunch of quests from the next one. To complete this chapter as well, I stood still to catch corallots and shot shulker thingies back at Hideon leaves to kill them. Then also used the fusion machine. This gave me a total of 3 more chapter quests. Before I went offline, I crafted a medium hunt trap and placed it down. Day 18, I claimed the hunt trap, which completed a quest, and then did my daily wishes. To complete the chapter, I would have to fish up a flex bone, which is pretty rare, but I was able to do it pretty quickly. Claiming the chapter gave me a Heart of the Forest and Skyblock level up. I had already completed 2 quests of the next chapter and then got the Efficient Forager and Deep Waters perk. After foraging, I took a break to do some experimentation table. After, I ran some dungeons and then went to go mining, forging a golden plate and doing my daily commissions. I took a quick break from mining to do some foraging and upgrading my Heart of the Forestry. Then a mining fiesta started, so I went back to the mines to do even more commissions. The fiesta wasn't over, but I didn't want to mine anymore, so I just forged some stuff and went to go gambling to end of the day. Logging in the next day, I did my experimentation table, giving me an enchanting level up. I then went to do some more gambling, which actually got me a farming for dummies. I went to the forge to claim the stuff I had forged overnight. Then got a variety of farming minions. After getting the minions, I went to the garden to check on my visitor, and Beth was there, which could get me further in her quest line. so I served her as well as Oringo. I then mined to do my daily commissions, then got mangrove as well as obsidian to buy myself a medium pocket black hole. I also got some stuff from Agatha's shop. I then foraged some fig trees to craft myself the best hunt trap, which I can't even use. I also got myself foraging armor, which I could have bought from the very beginning. Anyways, I donated my old armor to the museum. The traveling zoo was around, and it was offering an epic giraffe, which is good because it increases your swing range, as well as health regen. The pet only requires some acacia logs, which is pretty easy. After I bought the pet, I did a bunch of commissions. To level up the pet and make it useful, I did some foraging. I even got legendary in an Agathos contest, as well as a hunting level up. I then forged up a few refined titaniums and claimed the minion slots upgrade from the community shop. I used this minion slot for another cocoa bean minion. I also bought a bunch of gear from an NPC called Rosetta. I donated this to the museum. Before ending the day, I did a tier 3 Revenant, which gave me a Slayer level up and level 100. Starting day 20, I did my experimentation table, giving me taming 30. I then decided to do some visitors on my garden and also claimed some Jacobs contests. I put some leftover crops into the composter to unlock more plots, then claimed my forge and mined iron to forge up a mithril plate. I then did my daily commissions. After my commissions, I served 2 more visitors and hit garden level 5 while farming wheat. Farming wheat was very inefficient without replenish, so I farmed some sugarcane and pasted a sugarcane plot instead of the wheat plot, because sugarcane doesn't require replenish. I did 2 more visitors and then went to do fishing while loot sharing off of other people's sea creatures, because I needed lily pads to upgrade my rod. After doing a bit of fishing, I went back to farming. Here I got farming 20 and reached a bronze medal in a Jacobs contest. As you can see, I'm farming pumpkins right now, which I need to make a pumpkin plot. I bought the plot with a bit of compost and cleaned it up, then pasted it. While farming sugarcane, I hit another garden level up. I farmed pumpkins to serve Beth. She revisited again, and after serving her on day 21, she led me to this weird underground lab. I told her about it as she visited once more, but before doing anything, I served Jerry to get an unfulfilled Jerry seed, which I could use in the greenhouse, which I'll explain when I unlock it. On day 21, I killed the offline pests that had spawned, which literally took 5 minutes because they have 1300 HP. I was then able to prestige my chocolate factory and did my experimentation table. On my garden, I served 2 visitors, and then the carpenter visited, who would give me the greenhouse blueprint once I serve him. Since he was requiring enchanted melons, I bought myself a melon dicer, which is a specialized farming tool for melons, put the blessed reforge on it, and enchanted it with thunder. But before farming melons, I claimed my forge, and was now able to upgrade my drill. I also did my daily commissions. After the mining break, I pasted the melon plot, which I needed, and then farmed some sugarcane for absolutely no reason. But more importantly, I learned about chips from Jeff, which can be obtained through different activities. Upgrading a chip will give you different stats like farming fortune or extra copper. Beth revisited, and I had to search for 4 enchanted golden carrots this time. I started farming carrots, but then found melons to serve the carpenter and unlock the greenhouse blueprint. For the greenhouse I needed to get 2 materials, these being enchanted dark oak logs and enchanted sand. Before building the greenhouse I quickly served Beth, and after a 2-minute dialogue in the cave, which led to nothing, I got an accessory. After that I got the materials that are required for the greenhouse. I gave them to Sam, but I still needed to wait for my composter to unlock a plot, so I did some foraging in the meantime. Here I also did some sea loomies in the water, which I need to upgrade my fishing net. I also siphoned a bunch of random shards I still had left over. I then put the farming for dummies I had from the Year of the Pig on my melon dicer. My composter was now done, and I got the plot that I required for the greenhouse and pasted the greenhouse on top of there. To my understanding, the greenhouse works similar to the cookie clicker garden, so you plant crops in certain patterns next to each other, and they will spread mutations. As you can see here, some crops need to be watered. Different crops also apply different effects to nearby crops. After harvesting my first crop here, I got a skyblock level up. I planted 2 wheat in this pattern in hopes of spreading a mutation overnight, but I did it wrong, so when I woke up the next day, it hadn't actually grown. But after I did it right, I got my first mutation, being a dust grain. This one is pretty useless, but later mutations can actually be very good. I set up my greenhouse like this for more dust grains, and then Beth visited once more. After getting some carrots to serve her the final time, we went back to the underground lab. This time we found a weird corner which led us to a secret entrance. Here we met Jake one more time. This time he told us about his experiments and his crop analyzer. The crop analyzer can be used to analyze greenhouse mutations. Analyzing these will reward you with copper and various rewards through milestones. To correctly analyze them, you need to connect the colors, but everybody uses a mod except for me. Claiming the first milestone mainly gave me a talisman and a mutation sack. After doing the crop analyzer, I bought myself a pumpkin dicer and upgraded it to farm pumpkins more efficiently. After serving some visitors, I went to do foraging. Here I had to get 256 enchanted fig logs to upgrade my soulfire accessory. Upgrading the accessory completed a chapter quest. To make farming more efficiently, I would have to upgrade my super compactor so I wouldn't have to switch the enchanted things all the time. I mined redstone until I got the collection and a skyblock level up, but then pasted a cactus plot because a lot of visitors were wanting cactus. Along with this, I also made myself a cactus knife. I then did a bunch of visitors, including a legendary one, and did my experimentation table, giving me a Titanic experience bottle and a metaphysical serum. It also gave me 2 enchanting level ups. I now got back to work mining redstone and upgraded my personal compactor. Since I was already close to Heart of the Mountain tier 6, I did some commissions until I reached it. From the level up I got myself 2 more perks. I then did a bunch of glazite walkers to forge 2 golden plates and donate glazite armor to the museum. As I logged in on day 23, there was a Jerry event going on, so I got all the gifts and participated in the last wave that was still going on. I gave the gifts to a friend and upgraded my snow cannon to a snow blaster. For the garden I served a visitor, got my offline pests and harvested my greenhouse. Then set it up for Gloomgowers, which is the next mutation I'm going for. I spent some time farming melons because they can craft good farming armor, and got an RNG drop from a locust. Continuing to farm melon, I took a little break to get a New Year cake from the baker and also buy an accessory from him. I claimed and upgraded some cow minions, making myself a large backpack. I also claimed my cocoa bean minions, which had a good chunk of enchanted cookies. I spent some time farming pumpkin and sugarcane, getting myself a carpentry and skyblock level up. I also dropped a wriggling lava from a mosquito. Since I haven't gotten a gold medal yet, I tried to go for one in a sugarcane contest, but only ended up getting silver. So I continued to farm melons to make myself the armor I need. My composter had enough compost to get myself another plot, which I decided to use for cocoa beans. For the cocoa beans I also got myself a cocoa chopper and upgraded it. Usually, cocoa beans require replenish, but every time I'm done with the farm, I repasted it, regrowing the cocoa beans. Since farming the cocoa beans was also a bit better than sugarcane, I decided that I'd be going for gold in that contest, while continuing to farm melons. After claiming all my cocoa bean minions and removing them, my total of enchanted cookies was 15, so I only needed one more to get the replenish enchantment. I used the place I had for the cocoa bean minions for some fishing minions. After farming the last batch of cocoa beans, I was finally able to get the replenish enchantment. I applied this onto my cocoa chopper to make farming cocoa beans more efficient. I spent the next hour or so just farming a bunch of different crops. I also claimed a bunch of Jacob's contests I hadn't claimed yet. I continued farming and doing visitors, then bought the personal best perk from Anita and hit garden level 10 while mining melons. Before ending the day, I put some stuff in the composter. Logging in on day 24, I claimed my fishing minions to make myself a small fishing sack, claimed my composter, and got my offline pests. I continued farming cocoa beans, serving a bunch of visitors that demanded them, and hitting farming 29 in the process, giving me a skyblock level up. I continued farming cocoa beans and serving visitors until I got myself a replenish book. After farming some melons, I got myself the first melon armor piece. I claimed my composter to unlock a new plot, and then put turbo cocoa onto my cocoa bean chopper to participate in a cocoa beans contest. I ended up barely missing gold. I cleaned up the plot I just bought and pasted potatoes onto it because I wanted to get hot potato books to upgrade my armor and weapons. I also applied the replenish to the hoe. I started farming potatoes for hot potato books and got a taming level up and skyblock level up in the process. After some time farming, I bought some brewing stands and water bottles from the alchemist to brew speed potions with enchanted sugarcane because that's the best way to level up alchemy. I ended up getting alchemy 20. I went to the dwarven mines to claim my forge and do some commissions. To work towards my golden plates, I killed glaciate walkers, but while I was doing that, Aura was leaving office, so I checked up on that. By the way, if you don't know what Aura was, it was some kind of special Maya event. After mourning about Aura's loss, I did some dungeons, doing an F6 and finally completing some F7s consistently. Since Diana was now minister, I was able to buy her ancestral spade to do some mythological ritual, but I didn't really wanna do it, so I instead did some more F7s. After those 3 runs, I realized I needed to enchant my Bonzo's mask, but then I went off for the day anyways. Starting day 25, I did my experimentation table, giving me fresh air. I decided to run some floor 7, but then remembered I still hadn't reached the mountaintop, so I went to the rift to do some vampire slayers. From the slayers, I dropped a Baba Blister and a fantastic chocolate chip. After I unlocked Vampire tier 4 and did one last boss, I was finally able to craft the Vampiric Time Charm, which would unlock the mountaintop. This also got me a Skyblock level up. I explored the mountaintop a little bit, like getting the pickaxe and the eye, along with a few Enigma souls, but I'm not really gonna talk more about it because it's not the point of the video. And it's great content, so you should really check it out for yourself.
I've collected your materials up on the floor. Let's employ these planks.
Anyways, I did some dungeons in hopes of getting some wither armor and ended the day off when I dropped wither boots. The next day I continued doing dungeons, but then some hater told me that I only have 130 MP, which is a lot. I mean, I don't even know what he's talking about, but I decided to get my MP up anyways. Before I get my MP up though, I quickly set up my greenhouse for Gloomgowers. For my first 3 talisman I got a talisman of coins, speed talisman, and upgraded my campfire badge. Since that was obviously enough MP, I ran more dungeons and I dropped some wither boots again. I'll also be adding a wither boots counter in the top right every time I drop one. After those runs I did my experimentation table, giving me absolutely nothing. I then got an Abi phone from these NPCs and got the contacts of Rusty, Plumber Joe and Jax. While I was eating my cakes, I actually dropped a cake soul. Since I wanted to get my Skyblock level up even more, I did some tier 3 Tarantula Broodfathers. From this I got Spider level 3. I got 2 more talisman, being the Spider Ring and the Wood Affinity Talisman. I then realized I had never actually equipped the Silky Power Stone, so I did that. Now you may have realized that I want to get Necron's armor, but I only have Wither boots. Well, to get Necron's armor, you need to craft the Wither boots together with 8 Diamante sandals, which are just Diamond Horse armor, but it's not Diamond Horse armor. To get this Diamond Horse armor, you need to kill the Diamante giant in the Blood Room, which sometimes spawns. Upon killing him, he has a 50% chance to drop the Diamante sandal. After a few frag runs, I also got Bonzo fragments, which I could use to upgrade my Bonzo's mask, and then did some farming cocoa beans because I still need to get a gold medal in a contest. I also farmed potatoes to work towards crafting hot potato books for my armor. Before ending of the day, I did some mining to do my daily commissions and got some upgrades from the gold essence shop. On day 27 I continued doing normal dungeons as well as some frag runs. I even dropped a recomp which I was able to buy. I had also now gathered enough Diamantes handles to craft them into Necron boots. Onto these boots I applied Ancient Reforge as well as a few enchantments and 5 hot potato books. With my new strong armor I tried doing one of the hardest bosses in the game, being the tier 4 Revenant. After a devastating fight I managed to barely kill it. After another one I got a Zombie Slayer level up. Since my purse is pretty high and I'm very unemployed, I even did Slayers until I got Zombie Slayer level 5, which I literally forgot to claim. What I didn't forgot to claim was my experimentation table, which gave me sharpness 6, a Titanic experience bottle and a rare guardian. I applied the sharpness 6 to my Shadow Fury, bringing my damage to zombies up to about 60k. I did some more stuff in the mountaintop, but I'm not gonna cover it, as I said. After the rift, I did my daily commissions. And of course, I continued running dungeons.
Doppelboot!
Since finding parties took ages, I took a break to go to the garden where I harvested my greenhouse. This gave me an ethereal vine. I spent some time on Galatea going to this lava cave to kill and hunt strider surfers. After I claimed an Agatha contest, I got a Skyblock level up and a combat level up later from claiming a bestiary milestone. I also spent some time fishing for flex bones to upgrade my fishing net, but I still haven't upgraded it 3 months after this challenge. I have absolutely no idea when day 28 and 29 ended or started, so I just put them both together. Starting off, I got a New Year's cake from the New Year event and then ran some dungeons. After dungeons, I visited my garden, getting my offline pests and harvesting my greenhouse. I did a quick Sven tier 4, giving me a Skyblock level up. I then continued running dungeons. I harvested my greenhouse once again. There was finally a cocoa beans contest coming up, so I harvested some cocoa beans to upgrade my cocoa chopper to Mark II. I sacrificed some pests to get farming fortune, and now it's finally time to start the contest.
Ja, ich hab
Now that I finally have completed my goal for farming, I claimed the billion contests I still hadn't claimed, and analyzed the Gloom Gourd in the crop analyzer, which gave me a bunch of copper. I got back on my task of doing Sven Packmaster tier 4s, so I did a few until I got level 4 on the Slayer. I also realized I hadn't even claimed tier 1 yet, so I did that and crafted the Red Claw Talisman. For even more magical power, I progressed in the Romero and Juliet quest and upgraded my speed talisman to a speed ring. I then turned into a skill issue trying to do a tier for Tarantula Broodfather and dying twice, so I just did some tier 1 Enderman Slayers, which are very easy. I did these until Slayer level 2 and then ran some dungeons once again. For some reason, the entire footage didn't work and almost crashed my PC, but I only dropped boots anyways. Starting day 30, I harvested my greenhouse, giving me a Bowering Spores. Since Paul's Minister perk was to gain 10 extra points on each dungeon run, I decided I'd be doing dungeons the most. And after only a few runs, I already dropped my first Wither leggings ever. Taking a break from dungeons, I did my experimentation table and crafted a large backpack. After claiming a big bestiary milestone, which gave me combat 31, I did frag runs until I had enough diamantes handles to upgrade my leggings. To the leggings I applied an ancient reforge, a recombobulator, as well as hot potato books and enchants. I also 5-starred it. Before going back to running dungeons, I went to the Dwarven Mines to kill Glaciate Walkers to get Glaciate Jewels and max the attribute. Since I still needed Totem 7 and wanted to forge up a titanium drill, I also mined Mithril and did commissions. Ending of the day, I forged some stuff I needed for the titanium drill. Starting off day 31, I did my first ever Master Mode Floor 1, which is just Floor 1 but in harder. I continued doing dungeons in F7 in hopes of dropping a chest plate. And after only one run, this happened. Since I was so exhausted from my holy dungeon luck, I did my experimentation table, giving me a Titanic experience bottle. I also harvested my greenhouse for a synthesis ship. I then claimed my fort and crafted holy dragon boots to gamble them away at the dragon altar. Anyways, I had mined some emeralds to upgrade my emerald talisman to an emerald ring. Because I still need to get Autumn 7, I split my daily commissions. Since the challenge is coming to an end and the things I'm doing are getting kind of repetitive, I'm just going to summarize the important stuff I did and then make a little montage out of the rest. First off, I participated in a Jerry's Workshop event and gave their gifts to a random. I also bought some stuff from the Ice Essence shop and applied some better enchants from Einery's shop to my sword. I also did my experimentation table 3 times, giving me an enchanting level up. From all the times I harvested my greenhouse, I got 2 ethereal vines. I also realized my frog pet was still at cat, so I got that. And now for the montage.